Luke, Per, it's an important day for the future of our academy, with new coaching staff appointed for our under 21 and under 18 sides. How pleased are you with today's announcements?
I'm very pleased. We're excited about what the new season brings in terms of obviously the players that we have, but of course with the changes that we have to make in the summer with Dan Machichi and Kev Betsy leaving us, moving on to Crawley Town, which is a great opportunity for them, and I wanted to give them the props and the thanks as well, for the things they have done for us. But it gives us as well an opportunity, to speak about our coaching team moving forward.
What's the significance of making an internal appointment with Mehmet?
I think a few things in regards to Mehmet. He's a coach that we've tracked a long time. He's worked in Category 1 academy football for many years. He's been a PDP under 23 head coach previously. So when we appointed him as Kevin's assistant, we knew we were appointing somebody that had lots and lots of academy experience. We knew we were appointing a really good person and a really good coach. And over the last 6 months, his connection with the staff at Colney, his relationship with the players, his attention to detail on the grass has been second to none. So when Kevin and Dan informed us that they were leaving, myself and Per had every confidence that Mehmet was able to step in and be the under 21 head coach.
And it's not just Mehmet who's taking up a new post with us, but also Jack Wilshere returning to the club. Can you talk to us a little bit about that decision to bring Jack back?
Yeah, we are super excited about Jack, first of all, making that decision, to stop his career, at a fairly early age. But again, he has seen the journey, for an academy player, from a very early age. And so not only that, he has been with us, we could see him close by for 6 months, when he had experience wanted to keep fit with the first team, but then seeing him coach on a daily basis with us in the academy gave us a lot of confidence, and I've seen a lot of behaviors. I knew him from playing, being teammates. However, when you step that aside and transition into coaching, that's a different world, and he has done so well with us. So we were really at this stage where we tried to get him back, tried to convince him that this is the right step for him, and he can't wait to get started. But to have him such a role model of the academy, of the pathway, being with us is for us something we couldn't turn down.
And what were some of those specific qualities that Jack showed you when he was here coaching earlier in the year?
I think what he has shown is real consistency in his behaviours. His discipline, training in the morning with the first team, probably being knackered and then being able to assist the under 17, lead a few coaching sessions in the evening, either here at Colney after his training session or at Hayland at night. So we're really pleased with his consistency, and that's the difference between being a player and just working from 10 to 2 o'clock, then transitioning into a coaching position where you need to be alert and aware that this is ongoing, and you want to make a difference for the whole team and not only for yourself, making yourself better. He kind of understands and realizes now, to be effective, and to be really good at something after your playing career, you've got to have the right mindset. And he has clearly shown that to us, and it was just exciting for us to see that first and foremost, but then as well putting something across to him that could be appealing to him, to us, to everyone involved, to the staff and the players. So we're looking ahead to exciting times having Jack Wilshere back at the club.
Obviously Jack is someone who knows the club better than anyone. When it came to that decision making process, how important was his experience being an academy graduate here?
I think it was absolutely a huge part of our thinking. When you're the under 18 head coach, you have to have some kind of understanding what it takes to go from Hayland to Colney. Jack knows that. Jack joined the club as a 10-year-old from Luton Town. Jack's done everything that all of the academy players would want to do. He's been the captain of Arsenal first team. He's won the FA Cup. He's worked with Mikel Arteta as a player. He's worked with Per Mertesacker as a player. And I think it's really exciting that he can start to pass on some of his playing knowledge to some of our young academy graduates. I think the other thing that's important to know is Jack is a UEFA A qualified coach. The feedback that I certainly had from people in the FA and in the PFA regarding Jack when he was on his course was how dedicated he was to coaching, how even when he was out in Denmark playing, he was always on task, always contacting all of these individuals to try and ensure he could get the best qualification and learn as much as possible. So we're really excited that we've got somebody who is really infused to be a coach, but his depth of knowledge in terms of what it takes to be an academy player but transition to play in our first team, there's nobody better.
And can you tell us a little bit about the recruitment process? You must be delighted that it's all done and dusted now.
Yeah, we are absolutely delighted that the process has finished and we had kind of making our decisions along the way. Luke mentioned already, we had some form of succession planning going on. Once we appointed Mehmet in January, that was the other thing. Second thing is to have the experience with Jack, that he did something with the academy, really helped this process as well. But I would say it's not only us, these are club appointments, from the technical side. Edu, Mikel, everyone needed to be on board with that decision. And we have, and these individuals, Mikel, Edu, have seen both candidates, and we run a process where they need to come in and present, their ideas and how they will be aligned to the values that we stand for as a football club, plus how aligned are we with the playing style of the first team. So that took a bit of a time. So, but we're looking at a process that from the departure of Kevin then nearly a month ago, 5 weeks ago, to finish that now off and start before everyone goes into the kind of training camps, during pre-season, that everything is set and everyone has a clarity of, who is leading the teams going forward.
And how challenging were the past few weeks in terms of such a big upheaval in coaching staff?
I think the biggest positive is it hasn't been a challenge, and the reason why I say that is the quality of coaches that we've got in the academy at Hareland and Colney. The last few weeks have been really seamless. People have got on and worked with both the 18s and the 21s groups, and as much as we're really excited to have permanent appointments and two very good individuals to be our permanent 18 and 21 head coaches, the coaching staff, the MDT staff, the approach over the last few weeks in terms of getting all of the players fit and ready for pre-season games has been outstanding, and I think that's a product of the quality environment that we've created in the academy.
And looking back to last season, how do you reflect on our performance in the league and cup competitions, but also our performance off the pitch and looking at the bigger picture?
Yeah, we were pleased. Last year we went external, got in a really qualified and experienced youth coach in Kev Betsy, and really pleased with his year that he had. I mean, there's no coincidence, that he got interest, from the Football League, basically, that other clubs were interested in him because of the job he has done with our 23s last season. So really pleased with, finishing third in the league and then making such a good run to the quarterfinals of the Papa John's that was never achieved before. So we made progress. That's how it feels. And obviously we wanted to continue with him, but sometimes, you got to be prepared, especially when the break is and other clubs are preparing themselves for the future, and saw Kev as someone who could lead the way. We have to look at ourselves and what have we done in terms of succession planning. Obviously we, in our academy, we believe in our staff, in our coaching team. That's why we have such a strong workforce that, to believe in them and to push them up was really an easy decision to make. But reflecting on last season and how we have done, we are really pleased. But we're ready to go again, because the Academy Leagues, Premier League 2 is really, really up and down. And we need to make sure we have a good pre-season now with Mehmet, new coaching staff, bringing in Jack to really kickstart the season.
You must be immensely proud to see a number of our Academy graduates currently succeeding in the first team and beyond.
Yeah, I think if we look even recently with Brooke Norton-Cuffy, who's an under-18 player who's just won the Euros with England under-19s, that's one example of so many. Obviously we've got a small group of players who are currently in Germany with our first team, so we mustn't sit here and rest on our laurels. It's about what happens next. It's about inspiring the next group of players, and we're really confident that Jack and Mehmet and the coaching staff can help us and help the players do that.
And finally, speak about what happens next. How do we continue to improve that academy to first team pathway and push things even further?
I think that's really important to us, that we have the examples of Bukayo, Emile, Ainsley, Reece kicking on and being part of the first team. But there's as well other examples have shown as well, great resilience and looking for other pathway through the loan route. Players like Danny Ballard, who just has been on free loan spells and now kick on at Sunderland at a big club on a permanent move, which we're really, really pleased of. So there are really things that we're trying to improve to make sure that we bridge the gap between Premier League 2 and Premier League and making sure we have consistent and good pathways for our players. So we're really excited about that, about recent successes, but we keep on pushing our boys, to the next level, and that's really important for us that we, as well as, sitting here as staff and trying to push as well, our own staff, kind of make it that next step to a leadership position.
Luke, Per, thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.